Howdy howdy, Sue Devil here. In this video, we're going to go through every single unit in Clan Angrund, all their costs and upgrade values, and all their increases from chevrons, basically every unit and the stats that they have. So we're going to start with the regular lord. The Clan Angrund only has 3 lords available to them. The regular lord at his base value is worth 1,000 gold. He can get Foe Seeker, which for 80 gold adds 24% speed and 18% vigor. Stand Your Ground for 162 gold, which adds plus 27 melee defense and plus 16 leadership in a 40-meter radius. And the 2 items that the regular lord can get is the Banner of Lost Holds, which is a buff within 40-meter range of plus 5 melee attack and plus 6% weapon damage for a cost of 158, and the Silver Horn of Vengeance for a cost of 95, which is plus 36% charge bonus in a range of 40 meters. Now, the next lord they can get is the basic Rune Lord, and the ability is the Rune. So the basic Rune Lord starts at 800 gold. The Rune Lord can get a mount, the Anvil of Doom, which costs 300 gold. It does give extra 7 melee defense, an extra 900 hit points, 10 leadership, but minus 2 speed and plus 2 charge bonus. And it does give the potential of getting one ability, which is called the Locust of Power, which is plus 15% magic resistance map wide for the Dawi. With that ability, cost 160. With that ability, the Lord costs 1260. If we have just the Lord without his mount, 800 Forge Fire, costs 158 plus 10% armor piercing damage. Rune of Hearth and Home makes units within a 40-meter radius immune to psychology, and it is worth 162. The Master Rune of Oath and Steel gives plus 60 armor for 25 seconds in a 40-meter range for 162 gold. The Master Rune of Wrath and Rune targets an enemy within 75 meters for 36 seconds, which causes damage to the enemy and is strong versus multiple combatants, weak versus a single combatant, and causes minus 48% speed as a debuff, and it costs 162 gold. And the Master Rune of Negation, which is plus 44% damage resistance within 40-meter range at a cost of 234 gold. Finally, the Master Rune of Grungni, which is 20% missile resistance within a 40-meter range of the Rune Lord for a cost of 160. Now, of course, the Lord that is Clan Angrund is focused on is Belegar Ironhammer. And Belegar comes in at a base cost of 1150. It does have a silver shield, which not many lords have. And hit points 4191. Now Belegar can get, for a cost of 80, Rally, which is plus 16 leadership within a 40-meter range. The Mighty O Stone, which is a very unique ability, which gives plus 27 melee defense within 40 meters for 25 seconds and gives everyone expert charge defense. That reduces the charge bonus of any attacker, not just large, and it costs 159. And for 239, Revenge Incarnate, it's only one use for 57 seconds, which is quite a long time, and Belegar himself gets plus 44 melee attack, plus 16 leadership, and plus 50% weapon damage for a gold cost of 239. And the item he can get is the Hammer of Angrund, which is constant around himself, and it's disabled if his leadership is lower than 50%, so I guess if his leadership gets to 42.5 or lower. And while it's active, it costs 237 gold, gives him 15% armor piercing damage, plus 9 melee attack, plus 15% weapon damage, and plus 16% charge bonus. Now, as far as the heroes, the Clan Angrund has the regular dwarf heroes and then the 4 ethereal heroes. We will go through them all. So the regular Thane has a base value of 650 gold. For the Thane by himself, he can get Foe Seeker for 80 gold, which is 24% speed and plus 18% vigor for 25 seconds. He can also get Deadly Onslaught for 158 gold, which gives him plus 36% charge bonus, plus 20% armor piercing, and plus 20% weapon damage for a cost of 158. And his items he can get are the Master Rune of Stromny Redbeard for plus 5 melee attack, plus 4 leadership at a cost of 237 gold, and the Tormentor Sword for at a cost of 160 gold, which will freeze a unit for 9 seconds. They can't move, and it'll give them minus 26 melee attack, 160 gold for that. Now the next unit is the Runesmith. The base cost of the Runesmith is 600 gold with no abilities. As we add abilities, we can get Forge Fire, which is a 10% armor piercing damage buff within 40 meters of the Runesmith for a cost of 158 gold. Rune of Oath and Steel, which is a 30 armor buff within 40 meters for 82 gold for 25 seconds. You can get Rune of Wrath and Rune, which costs 80 gold, which lasts for 18 seconds and causes damage to combatants. It's weak versus a single combatant and strong versus a group, and again it's minus 48% speed. And the Rune of Negation, which is a 22% damage resistance reduction for 25 seconds in a range of 40 meters for 162 gold. The items he can get are the Master Rune of Groth One Eye for 160 gold within 40 meters of the Runesmith. Everyone gets plus 8 leadership, which is constant, and for 156 gold he can get the Hammer of Carrick Draws, which can be targeted on any enemy within 50 meters for 50 seconds, and it will give them a minus 25% weapon damage and minus 44 melee attack for 156 gold. We have now the Master Engineer, whose base value is 750 gold, and the Master Engineer can get extra powder, which affects allies in a range of 40 meters and gives them all plus 10% explosion damage and plus 10% armor piercing explosion damage for 83 gold. You can get ballistics calibration for 160 gold, which affects allies within 40 meters for 57 seconds and gives them plus 30% accuracy and plus 20 reload skill. And finally, he can get entrenchment for 162 gold, and it's a buff that lasts for 44 seconds. You can target an ally within 150 meters, and it will give them 22% physical resistance and plus 40% armor piercing missile damage, but they cannot move for the duration. The items he can get are the Rune of Slowness, which is constant around himself. The range is within 40 meters, and it is a 12% speed reduction to any enemies in range and a minus 8% charge bonus for a cost of 161 gold. And he can also get the Fire Ring of Thori for 163 gold, which is like a magical breath attack. You can target it within 100 meters, and it causes major magical and fire damage. And it's very weak against armor, though. It costs 163 gold. So that is the Master Engineer. Now we have King Lun Ironhammer, who is a Thane. He gets precisely the same things as the other Thane, but his base value is 1,000, and he does magical damage. He only has 2,000 health, but he is ethereal, so he has 75% magic resistance, and he does cause fear and terror. So that's the big difference between him and the regular Thane. Otherwise, the abilities look like they cost the same. Foe Seeker, 80 gold. Deadly Onslaught, 158 gold. Master Rune of Stromny Redbeard, 237 gold. And the Tormentor Sword for 160. And is this also a Thane? Okay, so the other Thane here costs 1,000, and that's Halgenhaf Stonebeard. And the difference between him and King Lun Ironhammer is they both do magical damage, but if you look, Halkenhaf has a silver shield instead of a bronze shield, and he has less melee attack and more melee defense, so he's a lot more tanky. He still has that ethereal 75% damage physical resistance and causes fear and terror, but I'll just put them together. So King Lun has 17 more melee attack and 10 less melee defense and 10 charge bonus, and a bronze shield instead of a silver shield. So those are the 2 ethereal units there. Now we have the Runesmith, which is Throny Ironbrow. Again, he also starts at 1,000. He also does magical damage, has the 75% physical resistance, causes fear and terror, and has all the same abilities as your regular Rune Lord with the Master Rune of Groth One Eye, Hammer of Karak draws, and of course all of the regular abilities at the same price. And finally we have the Master Engineer, who is ethereal, who is at 1150, does armor piercing damage like your regular Master Engineer. His melee attack also allows him to do magical damage. He again also has a physical resistance of 75% and does cause fear and terror, and all his abilities, extra powder, ballistics calibration, entrenchment, Rune of Slowness, and Fire Ring of Thori are the same. Alright, so now we'll go on to our infantry units. So we have the miners at 325, and if we start to add chevrons, the first one's 19 gold, 18 gold, 20 gold, 22 gold, 19 gold, 22, 24, 25, 26. And that will get the miner up to 9 chevrons, so it goes from 325 gold to 520 gold. And the miner will have plus 10 leadership, plus 5 melee attack, plus 8 melee defense, and of course some vigor. So we'll go to the next unit, which is the miner's blasting charges. For the chevrons, it starts at 400 gold instead of 325 and goes up for every rank by 21 gold, 21, 22, 24, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, and that will get them up to 9 chevrons. And if we compare that to a regular miner, same sort of thing. Goes up to 614 gold from 400, and plus 9 chevrons. He has plus 10 leadership, plus 5 melee attack, plus 8 melee defense, and his missile damage is actually plus 8 for the miner's blasting charges. So we'll go on to the Dwarf Warrior, who starts at 450, and with the chevrons, his melee attack is 22, melee defense is 40. The first chevron is 23 gold, 22, 24, 25 gold, 21, 27, 27, 29, 29, and that's it. So goes from a cost of 450 gold to 677, which is actually more expensive than a regular Longbeard, and that will give your Dwarf Warrior plus 10 leadership, plus 5 melee attack, and plus 13 melee defense, and of course a little bit of vigor, depending on where you put them in that chevron balance. Next unit we're going to look at is the Dwarf Warriors with Great Weapons. Start out at 500 gold, and their chevron costs are 24, 24, 25, 27, 22, 28, 29, 30, 31, and that's it. And they go from 500 gold to 740, and at the end they will have plus 10 leadership, plus 5 melee attack, plus 11 melee defense, and some vigor. That's 740 gold, which is just a little bit cheaper than a Longbeard with great weapons. Our next unit is our Angrund Miners. Our Angrund Miners are 600 gold. They cannot be chevroned up. They just have straight up 23 melee attack, 28 melee defense, and their claim to fame, aside from having good stats for a miner, even though they have the same starting health, is they have 3 blasting charges instead of 1, and it looks like their range is the same. Their missile damage is also more for the Angrund Miners for their blasting charges. The next unit is the regular Longbeards, who starts out at 650 gold, 30 melee attack, 48 melee defense. As we rank them up, first chevron is 29 gold, 28 gold, 30 gold, 31, 25, 33, 33, 35, 35, and 35. And that will take your Longbeard from 650 gold to 929, and when they're ranked up to rank 9, they'll have plus 10 leadership, plus 6 melee attack, and plus 15 melee defense, and some vigor. The next unit we have here is the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. Again, they are a regiment of renown, so they cannot be ranked up. They cost 700, have 30 melee attack and 50 melee defense. Their keys are they do flaming attacks, and they also have a bonus versus infantry of 6. And so they're anti-infantry, armored and shield, and charge defense against large foes, which a lot of dwarf units do have. Alright, the next unit we're going to look at is the Longbeards with great weapons. They start at 750 gold, have 30 melee attack and 38 melee defense. Their weapon strength 34 with 25 armor piercing. Now as we rank them up from 750, it costs 32 gold, 31, 33, 34, 27, 36, 36, 38, and 38 gold. And that will take them from a cost of 750 gold to 1055, and it will boost their stats in plus 10 leadership, plus 6 melee attack, and plus 13 melee defense. Next unit we're going to look at is the Slayer, who starts out at 900 gold. And Slayer is anti-large, fast for a dwarf. They have 40 run speed, which is actually pretty good. And they have 38 melee attack and 32 melee defense. So as we rank the Slayers up, starting at 900 gold, it costs 36 gold, 36, 37, 39, 30, 40 gold, 41, 42, 43, and that will get them from a starting cost of 900 gold to a finishing cost of 1244. And at the end, they will have plus 10 leadership. Not that it matters on a Slayer because they are unbreakable. And they will have plus 7 melee attack, plus 12 melee defense, and of course some vigor. So the next unit on our list is the Grumbling Guard, which is a unit of armor piercing Longbeards with, and of course we can't rank them up. They do have 34 melee attack and 52 melee defense, 34 weapon strength with 25 armor piercing. They have this old Grumblers, the old Grumblers, which gives all the units within 40 meter range plus 18% vigor, and that is a constant buff around everyone that's within that range, and it happens every 25 seconds and the duration is 5 seconds. Alright, the next unit we're going to look at are the Hammers. Hammers start out at 1100. They have 46 melee attack, 34 melee defense, and 55 weapon strength, which is actually pretty huge, with 41 armor piercing damage. They are considered a damage dealer, and they do have pretty heavy armor at 100. So as we rank them up, their chevrons cost 42 gold, 42, 43, 45, 34, 46, 47, 48, 49, and that will get them up to a total cost of, they start at 1100, and you can rank them up to rank 9, they'll be at 1496. That will add 10 to their leadership, plus 8 melee attack, and plus 12 melee defense and some vigor. The next unit we're going to look at are the Dragonback Slayers, and again, as a regiment of renown, we cannot rank them up. The major differences they have from a regular Slayer is their melee attack is 50 and their melee defense is 32. But they have this ability right here, which is called the Power of Dragonback, which gives they have 22% flame resistance, but when they hit something, they cause them to be flammable for 10 seconds. So they have a 22% weakness to fire damage, and they cause them to have minus 36% to their speed. So they're good at slowing down enemies, and they cost 1,150 gold. Alright, the next we have are the Ironbreakers, who start out at 1200 gold, and they start out with 30 melee attack and 68 melee defense, and they do have 2 blasting charges with a range of 60 that do 54 missile damage. So as we rank the Ironbreakers up from 1200 gold, their ranks cost 45 gold, 45, 46, 48, 36, 49, 50, 51, 52, and that gets them up to a total cost of 1622 from a starting cost of 1200. And with those extra chevrons, they'll get plus 10 leadership, which makes them basically unbreakable at 95, plus 6 melee attack, plus 18 melee defense, and plus 11 on their missile damage. But they will cost 1622. The last two infantry are the Norgrumling's Ironbreakers. Again, we can't rank them up. They have 40 melee attack and 82 melee defense. It's important to note that some of the other regiments are renowned, while basically like a Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, who are Dwarf Warriors, will have the same health as a regular Dwarf Warrior. These Norgrumling's Ironbreakers have an additional 1,400 hit points over the regular Ironbreakers. So aside from some of the other things, I'm going to put up a regular Ironbreaker so we can see. At 1,500, they have 1,440 more health, plus 11 leadership. Basically, they're unbreakable. Plus 10 melee attack, plus 14 melee defense, and plus 15 missile damage. And they have that. Health is a pretty big deal, though. Finally, we have in the infantry, we have the Peak Gate Guard, and they are also a damage dealer, and they do damage very quickly. We can't rank them up, but they have 54 melee attack and 48 melee defense. They do sunder armor, which whatever they hit has minus 30 armor for 10 seconds, and they do magical attacks too. So aside from armor piercing, they do magical attacks, and of course are immune to psychology. They have 55 weapon strength, 40 armor piercing, and 15 regular, and they cost 1,500 gold. Now we start with our missile infantry at 500 gold with just the base ranger. 160 range, only 18 ammunition. That's kind of the main difference between a base ranger and a quarreler. Is quarrelers have a lot more armor, and they do have 4 more ammunition, which isn't nothing. So as we rank up the base ranger, they start at 500, and their ranks cost 24, 24, 25, 27, 22, 28, 29, 30, and 31. And that will take them from a base cost of 500 to 740, and at 740 gold, they will, with 9 chevrons, they will have plus 10 leadership, plus 5 melee attack, plus 10 melee defense, and plus 4 missile damage. Next unit we're going to look at is the basic quarreler. They start at 550 gold, and their chevrons cost them 26 gold, 25, 27, 28, 23, 30, 30, 32, and 32 gold. And when you have them up to rank 9, they will go from 550 to 803, and that will give them plus 10 leadership, plus 5 melee attack, plus 11 melee defense, and plus 4 missile damage. Next unit we have is the quarrelers with great weapons. They start at 600 gold, and they of course do their basic damage is armor piercing, but their missile damage is not. Their range is still 160, 22 ammunition, but if they get into hand-to-hand combat, they will do armor piercing damage. Their chevrons cost 27, 27, 28, 30, 24, 31, 32, 33, and 34. And when they're ranked up to 9, they will cost 866 gold. They'll have plus 10 leadership, plus 5 melee attack, plus 9 melee defense, and plus 4 missile damage for the basic quarreler with great weapons. Now we have the rangers with great weapons. Now one thing to note about the rangers is they have a lot less range. Their range is only 75, but both their missiles and their weapons do armor piercing damage. So, and they have stock. They also have vanguard deployment, so you can put them anywhere on the map aside from the deployment zone of the enemy, and their speed is 33, so it's not quite Slayer speed, but it's not too bad. So they start at 650, and as we add chevrons, their chevrons cost 29 gold, 28 gold, 30 gold, 31, 25, 33, 33, 35, and 35 gold. And that will take them from a starting cost of 650 to an end cost of 929, which will give them plus 10 leadership, plus 5 melee attack, plus 9 melee defense, and plus 9 missile damage. That's pretty significant, actually. Plus 9 melee missile damage. Alright. Next unit we have is the Iron Drakes. And these Iron Drakes have been costed down since the Tomb King's launch. They're now at 700. I think they were at 800 before. And I think they started the game at cost of 900 actually. They do flaming attacks. Their range is 80. And when they hit something, they do debuff their leadership by 8 by giving them a trait called Burnt. Let me see. They have 70% fire resistance and 35% magical resistance, and they can hide. Okay. Now, when we add chevrons to them, the first one costs 30, 30, 31, 33, 26, 34, 35, 36, and 37. And that will get them up to a final cost of 992 at 9 chevrons from 700. And those 9 chevrons will give them plus 10 leadership, plus 5 melee attack, plus 10 melee defense, and plus 35 missile damage. Alright, next unit we're going to look at is the Thunder, who is also 700, same as the Iron Drake. And your Thunder has a range of 145, and they do armor-piercing missile damage, but they do not do armor-piercing regular damage. So they start at 700, and as we rank them up, their chevrons cost 30, 30, 31, 33, 26, 34, 35, 36, and 37. So you can rank them up from 700 gold all the way to 992, and at 992 they have plus 10 leadership, plus 5 melee attack, plus 11 melee defense, and plus 4 missile damage. Alright, next we have the Bugman's Rangers. And the Bugman's Rangers start at 750 gold. They again have 160 range. They only have 20 ammunition compared to the 22 of the regular Quarreler, but that is more than the 18 of your regular Ranger. And they actually do an extra missile damage as well. So the big things for the Bugman's Rangers is they do have stock. They're fast for a dwarf. They have a move speed of 33. They have a charge defense against large foes, and of course they have liquid fortification, which lets them regenerate. Okay, but it disables if their leadership is wavering. So the cost to chevron these Bugman's Rangers up is 32 gold, 31 gold, 33, 34, 27, 36, 36, 38, 38, and that's it. And they'll go from a starting cost of 750 gold to 1055 depending on where you stop. And at 9 chevrons, they have plus 10 leadership, plus 5 melee attack, plus 13 melee defense, and plus 5 missile damage. Alright, the next missile unit we're going to look at is the Ulthar's Raiders, and they are a regiment of renown, so they cannot be ranked up. They do armor-piercing regular damage and armor-piercing missile damage. They have Vanguard and stock, and they're fast. The big thing they can do is put marked by Ulthar onto an enemy for 28 seconds every 120 seconds within 150 meters, and that will give the enemy minus 24 missile parry. That's if they have a shield, minus 22% missile resistance, and minus 30 armor. Alright, now we'll go on to the Iron Drakes, the Trollhammer Torpedoes. And they're now at 900. I think they were at 1,000 the last patch, or 1,050. They've come down again in cost since the Tomb Kings. And they do armor-piercing missile damage, but their reload time is quite slow. Reload time 18 seconds. And they do have 24 bonus versus large. To chevron them up, it costs 36, 36, 37, 39, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43, and that will get them up to their absolute maximum cost at 9 chevrons from 1900 of 1244, and at 1244 they get plus 10 leadership, plus 5 melee attack, plus 10 melee defense, and plus 18 missile damage. The next unit we have here is the Skulder Guard, Iron Drakes, and again they are a regiment of renown, so they cannot be ranked up. They have they do 99 missile damage. Their reload time is only 5.6 seconds. Wow. So these guys reload pretty quick. And they're anti-infantry, so their missile damage does it show anti-infantry? Doesn't really. It just shows explosive armor piercing. And their weapon strength is that's just their missiles. They have a range of 90, which isn't too bad. They have a physical resistance of 20%. Interesting. I don't think... our other Iron Drakes do not have a physical resistance, but these guys at 1050 do have a physical resistance of 20%, have that same fire resistance of 70%, magic resistance of 35, and they can hide. Their missile damage is 99, and their range is 80. Anti-infantry, armor piercing, and armored. Okay, flamethrower. They're classified as flamethrower infantry. Alright, we'll go on to our gyrocopters. Our first base gyrocopter starts at 700 gold. Only has 66 leadership, has 105 speed, and a range of 75, and the missile damage is 76. It does have 2 bombs from bombardment. And to rank the gyrocopter up is 30 gold, 30, 31, 33, 26, 34, 35, 36, and 37 gold. So starting from 700 gold to 992 for a rank 9 gyrocopter. At rank 9 they will have plus 10 leadership, plus 6 melee attack, plus 4 melee defense, and plus 16 missile damage. And again, they're an anti-infantry, so their missile damage, I don't know if it shows a true anti-infantry. No, it does not. But they're poor against armored infantry. Next we have the gyrocopter with the brimstone gun. It is armor piercing and anti-large. It does have the 2 bombs, again, the gyrocopter bomb. Missile damage is armor piercing, and it is a flaming attack. And their range is 100, and their speed again is 105, leadership 66. As we rank them up, their ranks cost 33 gold, 33, 34, 36, 28, 37, 38, 39, and 40. And that will take them from a starting cost of 800 gold to an end cost at rank 9 of 1,118, with plus 10 leadership, plus 6 melee attack, plus 4 melee defense, and plus 21 missile damage. The next unit we're going to look at is the Gyro Bomber at a base cost of 1150. The Gyro Bomber is anti-infantry and has, their missile damage is pretty high, 1,103. Shots per volley, it does 8 shots per volley, so I guess each shot is like 120. And the vast majority is armor piercing. It does some explosive damage and explosive armor piercing. And it has a reload time of 4.5 seconds. And it has 11 bombs. And it can fire while moving. Alright. And it has a basic magic resist. So it starts at 1,150. And as we rank it up, it costs 44 gold, 43, 45, 46, 35, 48, 48, 50, 50. And that's it. So it'll start at 1,150 or 1,150 and go up to 1,559 at 9 chevrons. And those extra chevrons get you plus 10 leadership, plus 7 melee attack, plus 3 melee defense, and plus 238 missile damage. And the last unit we have is the Skyhammer, which is a regiment of renown, so we cannot rank it up. It has its anti-infantry, improved bombing, and the bombs are, okay, it says 5 uses and 0 seconds in between the uses. Interesting. I should have tried that out. It can fire while moving. It does 1,241 missile damage, 8 shots per volley. Again, armor piercing is the majority of that, and has a range of 125 and a speed of 90 for 1,400 gold. Alright, on to the last element of the Clan Angrund armies, which is the Bolt Thrower. The Bolt Thrower starts at 550 gold, has a range of 340 meters, and a 22 ammunition, and it does 124 damage, of which 116 is armor piercing, and it does have a true bonus versus large of 30. So it's anti-large armor piercing. As we rank it up, it costs 26 gold, 25, 27, 28, 23, 30, 30, 32, 32. And it will take it from starting at 550 gold to 803. At 803 gold, it have plus 10 leadership, plus 4 melee attack, plus 9 melee defense, and plus 26 missile damage. At 803 gold, which is almost the exact same cost of a cannon. The next unit we have here is the Grudge Thrower, which starts at a base cost of 700, does have 440 range, 153 damage, of which most is armor piercing. It does have 40 explosive base damage and 65 armor piercing, so it is an anti-infantry, and it does have armor piercing. And as we rank the Grudge Thrower up, it costs 30 gold, 30, 31, 33, 26, 34, 35, 36, 37, and at the end it goes from 700 gold to 992, which gives you plus 10 leadership, plus 4 melee attack, plus 9 melee defense, and plus 33 missile damage. The next unit we're going to look at is your basic cannon. And the cannon starts at 800 gold. It also has 440 range. It does 213 missile damage, which armor piercing is the armor piercing element is 336 versus 84 regular. It doesn't have explosive damage. It is anti-large, and of course it's ranked as armor piercing. As we rank up your cannon, it costs 33 gold, 33, 34, 36, 28, 37, 38, 39, and 40 gold, and will go from a base cost of 800 to a rank 9 cost of 1,118, and at that rank 9 cost you get plus 10 leadership, plus 4 melee attack, plus 9 melee defense, and plus 45 missile damage. Alright, the next unit we have here is the Gobblobber, and the Gobblobber again is a regiment of renown, and so of course cannot be ranked up. It does have a Goblin Mangonel, which a particularly stupid and otherwise useless goblin prisoner is tied to a boulder and is then fired, screaming all the way until he smashes into the target. Those hit by this projectile receive a leadership penalty, and that leadership penalty is minus 16 leadership for 10 seconds, so pretty powerful. And it is also an armor piercing unit with 140 armor piercing damage and 30 regular. It does have explosive damage, both base and armor piercing. It does have 440 range, 22 ammunition. So that costs 900 gold. The next unit we have is the Organ Gun at 1100 gold. This has armor piercing missiles. The missile damage base is 334, so that's I guess 4 times the armor piercing missile damage is 68, and the regular missile damage 22, no explosive damage. The range is 300 and it has 24 ammunition. As we rank up the Organ Gun, it costs 42, 42, 43, 45, 34, 46, 47, 48, 49, and that will take it from a base cost of 1100 gold to a rank 9 cost of 1496. And at the rank 9 cost you get plus 10 leadership, plus 4 melee attack, plus 9 melee defense, and plus 72 missile damage. The last unit we have in the entire Clan Angrund roster is the Flame Cannon. The Flame Cannon's base cost is 1250. Now it does flaming attacks, so it has fire damage, it has a range of 230 and 25 ammunition. The missile damage does give this burnt debuff for 10 seconds, a minus 8 leadership, and it does have 75 armor piercing missile damage and 160 base. It has explosive base damage of 70 and explosive armor piercing of 30, and does have a 9-second reload time. Alright, so as we rank that Flame Cannon up, it costs 47 gold, 46, 48, 49, 37, 51, 51, 53, and 53 gold. So it starts at 1250 gold and goes all the way to 1685. At 1685 gold you get plus 10 leadership, plus 4 melee attack, plus 9 melee defense, and plus 80 missile damage. And that is it for the entire the entire Clan Angrund roster. We'll make a separate video for each one of these rosters as we go through. If there's any questions or anything I missed, just say so down below in the comments. Have a good one.